Hi everyone. This is Harriet Richardson, your BART Inspector General. My team and I did some incredible work this year. And it shows. Here is the Office of the Inspector General's Fiscal Year 2022 Annual Report. It's been quite a year. It came with great accomplishments and continued challenges. Although we remain significantly understaffed due to our funding constraints, I am incredibly impressed and pleased with the work my team accomplished. We made great headway with our backlog of investigations and tackled some serious allegations. My staff also earned multiple professional designations, which not only demonstrate our value as an office, but also my team's commitment to quality and excellence. We also achieved two of our major goals. We now use animated videos, like this one, to provide educational information about our office and to present our reports. We also developed a system to follow up on complaints that we forwarded to BART management. These complaints typically pertain to allegations of harassment or unprofessional conduct, and their significance means that we must ensure that action was taken to protect employees from mistreatment. Although the accomplishments are ones that my team and I take great pride in, we are discouraged by the attempts by BART to diminish our work. The BART Board of Directors and Management opposed the legislation brought forward by Senator Stephen Glazer to ensure my office has the authority to do its work. Senate Bill 1488, however, was met with resistance by those who claim to welcome oversight. Two of the points challenged by BART leadership are records access and confidentiality, which I will discuss in detail later. As you can see, it was quite a roller coaster year with extreme highs and extreme lows. My team and I are proud of the work we have accomplished. Although the challenges we face weigh heavily on us, we do not waver from our commitment to serve the public with integrity and objectivity. Now let's take a look at our major accomplishments. In fiscal year 2022, we completed 23 fraud, waste, or abuse investigations and had one report addressing 11 separate allegations near completion at year's end. We also issued our office's strategic plan that outlines our goals for fiscal year 2022 and beyond. We exceeded our goals for completing investigations. Resource restrictions put us off target with our other goals, but we made progress toward them. With our consultant, Schoberg Evashank, we completed our financial structure audit, which identifies a path forward for BART to enter the modern era of financial management. In defense of our office, we reviewed BART's Office of External Affairs' suggested amendments to Senate Bill 1488 and held multiple discussions with them about their changes and the harm they cause our office. As we typically do, we gave multiple presentations to BART's Board of Directors and Audit Committee. Subjects included our quarterly activities, investigations, and funding shortfalls. One of the fun things we did this year was create animated video content. We created a series of animated GIFs and educational videos. As you can tell, we are also using these videos to communicate our reports to the public. This year we also revamped our process for following up on our recommendations and conducted quarterly follow-up. And we implemented a process to follow up on cases that we have forwarded to BART management for investigation so that we may ensure that all complaints that come into our office are addressed. To make the best use of our resources, we conducted an in-depth evaluation of our fraud, waste, or abuse cases to identify or, if necessary, change case priorities and determine how to allocate our investigators' time. We added to our collective professional designations. Assistant Inspector General, Claudette Beemerit, obtained her Certified Inspector General designation, and her Leadership Professional in Ethics and Compliance designation. And Principal Investigative Auditor, Jeffrey Dubsik, obtained his Certified Inspector General Investigator designation. We also added to our professional appointments. Inspector General, Harriet Richardson, was appointed to the Governmental Accounting Standards Advisory Council and to the Institute of Internal Auditors International Internal Auditors Standards Board, and Assistant Inspector General, Claudette Beemerit, was appointed to the Association of Inspectors General Western States Chapter Board. Those were the highlights of our year. Now let's take a look at case metrics. Since our inception, we've received 133 whistleblower complaints. We've resolved 99, have 33 under investigation, and 1 pending resolution. Out of our 99 resolved cases, we've declined 40 for having insufficient information or being out of scope, forwarded 25 to another oversight function, and investigated 34. Our trends remain consistent. We've received 31 complaints of unprofessional conduct, 27 complaints related to compliance concerns, and 26 complaints of potential fraud. We have made 47 recommendations to date. Management accepted 40 of those recommendations and implemented 31 of them while making progress on the remaining 9. BART leadership rejected 7 of our recommendations, which aimed to address problems with contracting and social media use. In fiscal year 2022, we completed 23 fraud, waste, or abuse investigations that resulted in 35 recommendations that addressed a range of concerns including potential false claims, timekeeping controls, contract administration and compliance, and conflicts of interest. Management accepted 32 of our fiscal year 2022 recommendations and, as of June 30, 2022, had implemented 23, made progress on 9, and did not accept 1. 2 were addressed to the Board of Directors to improve their policies regarding their social media use, which they did not accept. That's a total of 3 unaccepted recommendations. This year we also worked on 2 audits from our audit plan. We completed preliminary work on our span of control audit, but resource restrictions prevented us from moving that forward. Our investigative work demanded a significant amount of our time, leaving our staff of 3 little time to work on audits. However, with the financial assistance of the General Manager's Office, we were able to contract with the firm, Schoberg Eva Schenk Consulting, or SEC, to complete our financial structure audit. The General Manager's Office funded 50% of the contracted work and allowed us to use their on-call contract with SEC to expedite getting the audit started. We expected to issue the report in June 2022, but that was delayed so that, at the request of the BART Board President, we could first have briefing meetings with the other board directors. We are excited about this work and the recommendation that we believe provides an ideal opportunity for BART to use a financial structure that is best for the district not just today but also for the next 50 years and beyond. Now let's take a look at a few of our year's biggest events. As I mentioned earlier, BART leadership opposed SB 1488 as drafted. In addition to having a number of meetings on the topic, I tried to address misinterpretations made in BART's analysis of the bill during a board meeting. I wanted to ensure that the board knew that the analysis didn't properly reflect the intent of the proposed legislation, and that many of BART's proposed edits would undermine the OIG and lead to violations of state law. Instead of being allowed to speak, the board majority voted to end further discussion and then voted to oppose the legislation unless amended. Not only was I denied the ability to present the information, but the public was also denied their right to transparent, complete, and accurate information. BART's 2 main points of opposition are our unlimited access to records and our confidential access to personnel. BART would like to place restrictions on our access to records and people that would severely compromise our work and make it nearly impossible to conduct an investigation or an audit. It would remove our necessary and legally required independence. Further, all employees must be given the opportunity to speak to us in confidence. To alleviate BART leadership's concerns, we have explained to them that SB 1488 protects our documentation from disclosure and specifically prohibits unlawful release of confidential information. And, as required, we adhere to federal law allowing represented employees to have their union rep present during meetings when the employee has a reasonable belief that an investigation may result in disciplinary action. We even go beyond the law to inform employees of their rights. It is perplexing that while BART leadership opposes the bill and its common language and authorities that are widely accepted by OIGs and audit offices across the nation and California, they do not impose restrictions on their other oversight functions. BART granted its internal audit division unlimited access to records. Likewise, the Board of Directors adopted policy granting the Office of the Independent Police Auditor unfettered access to records, with 2 of BART's oversight offices already having unlimited access to records with full support from BART leadership. It begs the question, why are they wanting to impose special restrictions on us? Now, let's take a look at the rest of our major events. One of our most significant investigations this year looked into an allegation of a conflict of interest. We substantiated the claim and determined that there was a potential violation of California Government Code Section 1090. Even though our work supports a potential violation of law, some board directors and audit committee members, as well as members of BART management, do not believe a conflict existed or that there is any real concern. These comments reflect a disconnect with the purpose of the state law regarding conflicts of interest. The basis of leadership's comments seem to stem more from a long-standing, positive relationship with a contractor than with the meaning of the law. While such relationships are of tremendous value, they cannot take precedence over the law. When stripped to its core, Section 1090 is about removing conflicts that do or could lead to decisions that are not in the public's best interest. We have work to do to have that understood. We committed ourselves to seeking additional funding this year. Our annual allocation of $1 million is not enough for us to meet our mandate to conduct audits and investigations. And the historical rise of inflation has significantly decreased our purchasing power, putting us at risk of being unable to function at even our current capacity in the very near future. We sought help from the Bay Area Toll Authority, or BATA, which has the authority to increase our funding. Their reply was a resounding no, not now, and likely not ever. BART is also resistant to assisting. Other OIGs throughout the country are funded by their own agencies, but BART leadership has indicated several times that it is unwilling to do so. Knowing that BATA and BART are unwilling to increase our funding, we have deep concerns about our office's future. While the potential exists for us to receive a one-time funding distribution from the state that will not address our long-term needs, we will continue to seek additional funding, but our options are limited. This year, we also focused on follow-up. We redesigned our system for tracking recommendations and implemented a new process for following up on them and confirming implementation. We also created a process to follow up on the allegations of harassment or unprofessional conduct that we forwarded to management because they are matters outside of our purview. Although many of these allegations come to us anonymously, with little specifics, having the data allows management to look for trends and patterns. Management felt that our process was helpful and found value in having the data. We are excited to announce that we began creating video content using animation software to communicate our reports to the public and to provide educational information to BART employees. We also created a series of GIFs that we post to Twitter on a rotational basis. This work is part of our effort to engage more with the public and bring them important information about BART and the oversight we provide for how their taxpayer and ridership dollars are spent. You may follow us at OIGSFBART to see our GIFs and videos. In the meantime, enjoy a glimpse of some of our favorite GIFs. The last item I'd like to discuss is the Alameda County Civil Grand Jury Report. On June 28, 2022, they issued their 2021 to 2022 final report, which included an investigation of the BART OIG. The report focused on our lack of independence and significantly inadequate funding. The grand jury's conclusions echo comments that we have repeatedly expressed in our quarterly and annual reports, that our ability to conduct independent oversight has been obstructed, and that our office is significantly underfunded. The grand jury found that BART's board, management, and unions had established a pattern of obstruction through their unwillingness to support an independent OIG, and having put roadblocks in place that prevent us from providing the independent oversight mandated in state law. The grand jury also referred to our $1 million annual budget as paltry, and confirmed how significantly underfunded our office is when compared to other transit OIGs. I hope you enjoyed our review of 2022. While we did face many challenges, there was still much to celebrate. Including you, the people we work for. You may read our full report online at bart.gov/OIG. Take care.